Hey, Dan Patton from Real Chicago here. We're at the Davis Theater for the screening of the Conrad series, which will be coming to you sometime soon. And I am with the co-creators who have also put a lot together for this thing, Miss Jennifer Goodman and Mr. Ryan Atkins. Okay, give me the description.
Truth is a prison is the little tagline, and the log line is basically it's a story that has to deal with perseverance, and it is a story about a chief of police who has a daughter, and she's determined to find out the truth about her father's death, which leads her down a very dark path.
Where did you first have this idea for Conrad?
So I actually read a 2-page script from him, and I auditioned for it and was cast. And when I read it, I was really impressed with what he had written. It was about a detective who was interrogating a male suspect.
So I wrote a story, I wrote a character from different inspirations from other movies, and lo and behold, here we have this brand new script that was, grew exponentially from there. So it wasn't even called Conrad to start. It was not even supposed to be a television show. It was a
2-page dialogue.
A 2 to 3 minute film to go in my demo reel. So my inspirations came from when you have two men interrogating, not two men interrogating. When you're being interrogated by a guy, I feel it's pretty stereotypical to have that done. I found it invigorating to have a woman leading that scene. I got the idea from Angelina Jolie from the movie Salt, and the lead female cop, I cannot remember the actor's name, but she's from Gone Girl. So I got the idea of creating a female cop that slowly reveals more layers as the male is kind of slowly sinking in his seat, kind of opposite of what you would imagine.
We wanted somebody who had an experience and had a name, and we wanted to add celebrity talent to our script, and we made a list of people, and Eric Roberts was one of the top. We felt that he has kind of that energy and that ability to really cast the net and play this character. The story for Kate is a story that she kind of learns throughout the series. She doesn't really know her life the way the reality is. She knows what she's been raised with. And her father, who is Eric Roberts, but he plays Michael Conrad, which is her father, he's a chief of police. And we thought it was a really compelling story that the dynamic between the two is really interesting because you have this women empowerment theme where she's trying to rise above and she's trying to become somebody and she's trying to become a detective and she's always been kind of pushed down as daddy's daughter. And her success is based on her dad being the chief, when in fact she creates her own success, right? And so the crazy part about it is that when his character passes, when he dies, it's deemed a suicide. And she's absolutely convinced there's no way that anyone would, she couldn't believe that anybody would gloss over that it's considered a suicide when it's the chief of police. And she starts to learn who she really is. And she learns all about an underground world involving human trafficking and immigration, illegal immigration, and a lot of underground things that are happening that she didn't even know existed. And so we had our original pilot that we filmed without any celebrity talent, and that was good. Yes. And we decided to kind of tailor some of the story and, of course, make it more streamlined and have kind of more of it in the pilot and then put more things in the later episodes.
Every show that we watch, we connect to it in some way. So Stranger Things, I grew up with a lot of 80s different, 80s things, and we wanted to create a piece that would create interesting conversation. Human trafficking is a very dark topic, and it happens more than we believe it happens, and it's very interesting to find out who is involved with that and to connect with stories that are actually happening today.
Why are audiences going to like watching this?
Yeah, so, I think one of the big things that the audience are going to be drawn to, it's kind of like Law & Order meets The Blacklist, so to speak. It's got a lot of edgy storylines to it. It's got some of your favorite actors, and, we've got some really cool locations here in Chicago. And I think, putting those together along with a story that has a lot of substance to it that keeps you wanting to know more because it's a serialized story. It's not a procedural. So by that we mean that it has the same story arc as it continues through the series.
How often do we think we're going to find out the truth and then we have to wait, like, oh, it's not that guy? Okay, you do that to us.
You actually do that in the pilot quite a bit. You'll find out tonight.